And here we are, perfect time for an origin story in issue number 8. Here's the story of April and Mark Booth. They were smart, brilliant even. They were in love and they had their whole lives ahead of them. But they weren't content with where they were in their professional lives. April specifically wanted more. Nothing inherently wrong with wanting bigger and better things for yourself. But April and Mark decided that this more had to be what others had that they didn't. April felt invisible in her professional life, and Mark decided that the blessings that others had were undeserved. Together, they believed they should, could, and would do better with those powers that other people had. They convinced themselves they would handle those responsibilities better than anyone because of their superior intellect. It's those feelings we all can relate to, right? If I had that high, if I had that job, if I have those skills, that brain, those looks, so on and so forth. It's uncomfortable to admit it, but we all been there one way or another. The problem with Mark and April was that they stayed there in those thoughts, and the dynamics of their relationship only served to see them spiral even more. They ended up setting their sights on the Hulks. I don't know why, but that's what they did. Of all the super people in the world, they went with the most volatile group with a wide range of results. And that was their first mistake. Ultimately, they picked She Hulk from the Hulk population because of the perfect balance she wielded as a Hulk. And after stealing She Hulk's blood and injecting themselves with it, they saw themselves transform into Hulks as well. The intent was for them to become like She Hulk, strong but in control over themselves and their intelligence. And to their own surprise, it worked, but only for a moment. They underwent unpredictable changes that ended up being permanent. April reverted to a human form with her smarts unchanged, but she was now disfigured. Mark wasn't so lucky. He changed into a Hulk form on and off until eventually he stayed in Hulk form, but his intellect reverted to that of a child. Instead of realizing the error of their ways or accepting they were in over their heads and calling this a mistake and maybe even asking for help, April decided to double down. The next target was She Hulk herself. The psychology behind obsessing over others often stems from personal insecurities, a desire to live vicariously through others, or feelings of inadequacy, leading people to focus on other people's lives to escape their own or to feel better about their situation. This preoccupation can also be driven by low self esteem, a lack of self awareness, or a need to fill an internal void by seeking external validation. In more severe cases, obsessions can be linked to mental health conditions, codependency, or unhealthy relationship dynamics. And this is everything that Rainbow Rowell pretty much explored through these two characters.